the blood god, the hunter of souls, Khorne. Khorne, as he is also known, is the god of the 40k and Warhammer Fantasy Universe. He is the god of rage, hatred, martial honor, warfare, and murder. And today I am here as the Congruent Chronicler, also known as David, to discuss why would someone choose to worship the blood god himself. So, in the world of 40k, Khorne is the first of the Chaos Gods to be awakened. He is all about warfare and rage and murder. Which, in a universe full of murder and warfare, yeah, I could see why someone would want to worship him there, but I'm looking to see why someone from our world would choose to worship Khorne. And that's what we're here for. So within the world of 40k, he gives you power. He takes your unbridled rage and makes you powerful and strong. So it makes sense, again, in that setting, why someone wants to worship someone like that. But here, in our world, it doesn't make as much sense now, does it? Because for a long time, I assumed Khorne would choose the big, brawny alpha male. So that's what I thought. But then, turns out I was completely wrong about that. At least in my reading of the material. And this is what I'm here to talk about. So before we get into it, I have studied this to some extent. I'm currently studying it, this, psychology and people's thoughts. So this is something I have knowledge of. And I've taken a lot of knowledge from this from the study I've done over the last 1.5 years and personal experience, and particularly the book All the Rage, which I'll have a link before down below. So if you're curious about that, check it out. But now getting into it. In the 21st century, why would someone choose to worship Khorne? Well, as the book All the Rage points out, this is the age of rage. And the blood god is also a god of rage. Perfect place for him. You think about in this social media world where people are desperate for attention, yet feeling also lonely and isolated. This is a fervent ground for rage. Think of Twitter, now X, Facebook, Instagram. How many times do you see a post that just triggers someone and makes them angry? Now, I'm not saying those posts are the things that would make someone a Khornite, but they are something that leads to it. Specifically Reddit as well. Anger is contagious, and anger itself will lead to aggression. There are different things. I used to consider them the same thing, but they're not. Anger is the feeling. Aggression is the action that we take once we have that feeling. So yeah, as I said, aggression is the external force created by anger. And as I said earlier, Khornite followers are, portrayed as the big strong man. You would think them alphas, but in my mind, they're betas. Definitely betas. And the kind of people in our world who would be Khornite followers, oh boy, losers like Anders Breivik, Omar Mateen, Eric Hallis, and Dylan Klebold. Mass shooters. Absolute losers who are mass shooters. And I'm going to emphasize this, and the reason why Khorne would pick people like them. Khorne wants you to be strong, Khorne wants you to cause mayhem and murder, but Khorne does not want you as strong as him. He wants those sorts of losers out there. The kind of people that were made to feel weak and inferior, so they spend all their time building that rage up till that rage explodes into an action. And this is not me getting political with anything, this is just saying these are men who did awful, evil, violent things because of the rage inside them. Rage is a perfectly natural thing, we all have it. It's in Lorenz's theory of aggression, he proposes that rage is something we developed as an evolution when we're animals, something that it's defense mechanism. If think about our more primitive selves, when they were being threatened or attacked, you show rage, you show aggression, and you scare the opponent away. Maybe that thing that was coming towards you could kill you, but because you've put on this big show, it's now scared off. It's built into all of us That's the whole thing about Khorne. As evil a deity as Khorne is, it's part of us. And as we all know, if you do not release that rage and aggression, it festers. It builds up. It's like a valve that needs released every now and again. That's the best way to describe it. And there is proof that we have to do these things. You know, rage rooms have become more popular in the past few years. I know a lot of guys have got into like just weightlifting or, you know, hitting the punch bag because it gets it out. And it's good, you need to get it out, but it's how we get it out that's the issue. So, now it comes into the lore wise. You're maybe thinking that why pick those 4 examples, you know, Columbine, the Pulse nightclub, and Anders. Why pick them? I think I look at lore, and Khorne's most successful follower is a great example of this. Angron. Angron is a hurt wee soul. He is, if you don't know much about Khorne, which is strange if you're on this video and you probably do, but let's dumb it down. Angron is a demigod who was sent to a planet where he was raised as a warrior. He was forced to fight and kill his family. His adoptive family, mostly his adoptive father, and he was forced to eventually fight alongside his few friends he had there to start a rebellion, and that was after he was forcibly operated on. When his biological father comes to him, he pretty much kidnaps him, and now Angron is forced to watch the people he loves get killed. Angron's being hurt by everyone around him. His brothers don't understand. They've all been massive successes, so he's a failure. He has this inferiority complex, and that is an interesting point to get onto, because this is where I want to talk about the 8 stages of development, because that is a point I think Angron has missed. This is where I look at Ericsson's 8 stages of development, and the 3rd and 4th in particular. One is for purpose and one is for confidence, and I feel like young men, and in Angron's case, if you do not fulfill those moments in your life, you're left to a certain extent wandering adrift and feeling inferior. And you can look at those people like that. There are many young men out there nowadays who do feel that way. And Angron's the same. He was someone who he felt inferior to his brothers. He felt like he didn't have a place. Khorne gave him a place. He eventually became a demon prince. So demigod meets demon. Boom. One of the most powerful creatures in the universe. Not as powerful as his god, but one of the most powerful. And he's fully addicted to his rage now. And there is evidence that rage is addictive. Again, all sources for everything I've talked about will be below. Angron is addicted to it. And you can see that because the only times he is allowed to even feel any moments of peace or calm, or is when he does these massive murder sprees that Khorne appreciates. So that's the kind of people that Khorne wants under his control. Angry little betas. Which is strange, because again, you look at the Khornite things, they're all big, tough, macho men or soldiers. But I think he wants the weaklings. He makes them strong, because then you rely on his strength to make you stronger as well. Meanwhile, anyone who's got their own sense of confidence and own sense of self probably doesn't need that kind of power. And that's why I think Khorne is probably far weaker than people would give him credit. He's, depicted as one of the strongest Chaos Gods, and all the Chaos Gods are strong, but behind all that strength is a bunch of lonely little losers who need his power to make them stronger. Which is kind of ironic if you think about it, at least in my opinion. But anyway, we'll just end it there, because I'm David. This is the Congruent Chronicler, where we are going to be looking at the mindsets and psychology behind characters in fiction. And our next video is going to be on Nurgle and how that actually strangely applies to me, of all people. So I hope you enjoyed, and if this is the kind of thing you like, This is only our first video, so things are definitely going to get better. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all guys later.